Welcome, Power fans. We are back to cover episode 5 of season 2 of Power Book 4 Force. What an episode. We saw a lot of bodies drop this episode. So we have a lot to talk about. Before we get into that, if you're new to the page, please like and subscribe. We'll be covering the entire season leading up to the finale later in October. But where to begin? We got to start with the Flynn family, which is no more. From one time being the main power of Chicago, now completely eradicated for the most part. Um, the kids put in motion their big plot to take down their father, Walter. A lot of collateral damage happened there. The main thing happened, which was Walter was killed. But as they say, the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And Vic found that out firsthand. He was all the way down with Claudia's plot to take their father out. But little did he know that Claudia had designs on being the head of the family. And Brendan told Claudia that I know you think you're going to be running the organization, but Dublin is not going to be going for that. As long as your brother is alive, that's not going to happen. And what did she do? She sat there and didn't tell her brother about the updated plan to do the hit a few hours earlier, which put him in danger and also ended up killing Paulie, who had nothing to do with it and was completely devoted not just to the family, but to the children as well. So Vic goes through with it. He does the coup de grace on his father, but he realizes when he gets back there that Claudia lied to him as she kills Brendan before he can reveal the complete truth. So this is really just a big mess because let's start with number one. You kill Brendan, Brendan who helped you put the plot in place and kills the number one assassin for Dublin, which was Big Red. So what do you think Dublin's response is going to be when they hear about this? So that's one of the main things we need to look at in these next couple episodes. Who is Dublin going to send to try and clean this mess up and find out what really happened? Because I'm sure Claudia is going to concoct some story about her father found out about the plot and he's the one that killed Brendan and all that, but they're not going to be going for that. So this character, whoever it's going to be that they send over, is going to be really interesting. At first, I thought maybe it'd be a good idea to send a woman over to kind of show Claudia the difference between wanting to be in power and what it looks like to actually be in power. But I don't think that's going to be realistic because we just found out that Dublin really doesn't roll with women like that, women in power. So it's probably going to be another male character. Do we want an older male character? Do we want someone younger like Brendan? We don't know. So I'm thinking it's going to be somebody a little bit more seasoned, but somebody that's a lot more ruthless and probably a little bit more unhinged, which is really going to put Claudia on her heels and Vic as well. So we're going to have to see what the response is from Dublin. As far as Claudia goes, she is probably, I think, the one that's in most danger of getting killed because number one, we have the Dublin situation that I mentioned. Tommy is still gunning for her. And then now that Vic has turned state's evidence, his directive is to infiltrate CBI and to try and figure out what they're up to and what they're doing. Now, during that whole thing, when he infiltrates, he's going to find out that Tommy is looking for information on who really killed Liliana. And I think Vic, at this point, he doesn't have any loyalty to Claudia. He's probably not going to have any problems giving that information up. So over these next couple episodes, I do think Claudia is most in danger of getting killed, but I don't really think it's going to happen simply because she's such a good villain. I think she's kind of good until at least the end of the season, but we know Tommy always gets his revenge. So he's going to get her sooner or later, but I think it's not going to be until the last episode of this season. As far as Vic goes, he's still in danger a little bit as well because we know Claudia doesn't want him out of the picture because when Dublin comes, I'm assuming they're going to be paying attention or taking direction from Vic because they don't like dealing with women. So at that point, he's going to have his story straight as well. And if they don't like what they hear, or if Claudia starts planting seeds that, Vic was behind the whole thing and starts, changing the narrative to put him in trouble, Dublin can end up killing him as well. So there's a lot of different ways where things can go with the Flynn family. And I do believe that Paulie's wife is still alive. I don't know if she's going to come in the picture now because of what happened to her husband. So, the Flynn family is all over the place. Just I think they're going to find out that really, as bad as their father was, it was better to keep him in power, because once you're in power, everything is on you, the total weight of everything. And I don't think either sibling is equipped to deal with that. Now let's go to someone else who was down bad. We thought he hit rock bottom before. It's even worse now with Jenard. He's robbing his former crew. He's beating up studs, taking their family heirlooms. He took Manny's chain, and then he gave it to a random junkie off the street. He's shooting up needles now. So now we don't know where that can go. We're going to get like an AIDS or HIV storyline with Jenard. I don't think Power is going to go that dark with something so serious, but there's a lot of different ways they can go with that with Jenard. But he is, this is real life, he would have been dead already. Let's just get that straight. He should get killed, but I think all of this is being set up, especially with their father, Big Sid, dying, and their father telling them, or telling Diamond to look out for your younger brother. I think the stage is set for Diamond to swoop in and save Jenard from getting killed, because the walls are closing in. You got the Serbs, number one, who want their money and their payments. His old crew is going to be after him, because he stole the product. And then Manny, of course, is probably going to be leading the charge, because he's the one that robbed her directly and pistol whipped her and took her father's chain. So that whole crew is going to be after him. And then his own crew is going to find out in short order that this money, or these kilos, did not come from Miguel. So they're going to be knowing that he's lying too, and that he's a loose cannon. And let's look at something else that may happen. His crew, somebody from that crew, might end up getting killed, because now they're going to be the crew that he had robbed. They're going to be on the street after Jenard's crew, and his own crew is not even going to be aware that there's beef like that going on. So one of them can get killed, and that's going to put more heat on Jenard as well. So I think the only thing that's going to save him is this new partnership that Diamond has with King Kilo. Once that coalition gets in place, that's going to give Diamond enough power to get his brother a pass. But he's really the one that needs to be out of town with D-Max somewhere to get clean and all that. That's really the solution, but that's not going to happen. But I think that's going to be the big solution that we'll see. As far as D-Mac goes, I was completely wrong about that. I thought when he killed that cop, he was going to turn into like this King Von type of assassin. Now that he's got his first kill, he's going to be deep in the game. But Tommy did the right thing. He got him completely removed from the environment, and now it's going to be on him to get himself clean. So he's going to be out of the picture for the short term. Tommy got that right, but what he got wrong is what he did to Kate, basically implying to his mother that he got his grandson killed for being out in the streets. So now Kate is using again. So now here's something else. I know it's so tired now in Power seeing these parents get killed by their children, but we might end up seeing Tommy killing Kate, because now that Kate is back on that stuff, we know that she's a loose cannon. I know she's looking for some type of payback for what she thinks Tommy did to D-Mac. So how does that going to manifest? Is she going to go to the police? She's going to do something. Tell Mireya not to mess with Tommy. Something is going to happen on a big scale that's going to get Tommy's operation messed up. Kate is going to get her revenge some type of way. If it's too big, will Tommy go and kill her? I don't think so. I think that's his mom, as much as he hates her sometimes and calls her by her first name. I don't think it'll get that far, and there's too many parents getting killed by their children, but there's going to be some type of big blow up that happens between them again. She's going to get her payback some type of way on Tommy for this alleged killing of D-Mac. So we'll see where that goes. As far as the dumbest person this episode, I think I'm gonna have to go with my girl Mireya. As smart as she is, her decision making, it just kind of makes no sense. She stood so firm about, I don't want to be involved in my brother's business or anything, or anyone that's involved with my brother's business. But now you're turning up and you have this big tirade at work against your sometime lover. I don't even know his name. I think her colleague called him Dr. Kendall. So you're so mad at him for not committing to you, and you get this big revelation after seeing a gunshot victim come in from street violence. So your big epiphany is now to break up with this guy and focus solely on a criminal that's doing work with your brother's organization. her logic is just completely gone, which is, one of the reasons why she should get killed. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think she's going to end up getting immersed further in Tommy's business. And I think she might end up betraying her brother, because I think this is going to cause a big fracture with her brother, essentially what he did to the doctor, breaking both his hands, probably crippling him. So once she realizes that her brother is behind that, that's that type of opening that Tommy needs to kind of slither more in there. And I'm kind of interested to really see what his true intentions are. We know his end game is he wants to be the complete power in Chicago. He doesn't want to answer to anyone. He doesn't want to really share the business with anyone. And we know he's already been manipulating Miguel slowly. How far is he willing to go with that, knowing that that's Mireya's brother? Is he willing to take Miguel out completely? That's what we're going to see in the coming weeks. So that's it as far as my recap. The big thing is what we're going to see with Flynn, the Flynn family. How deep is Vic going to be able to get into CBI? Is he going to be able to sick Tommy on Claudia by letting Tommy know or confirming what happened with Liliana? Will Claudia get to him first and put him in Dublin's crosshairs by implying that he's behind everything that went down, getting Brendan killed and Big Red, the big assassin from Dublin? And then Jenard, is Jenard going to be able to get saved by Diamond? Are they going to be able to put that coalition together quick enough to save him? So those are the big things that came out from this episode. Are you happy that Walter is dead? Do you think that was the right move? I'm kind of sick of the baby Flynns as far as the kids go. I'd rather one of them get killed, but we'll see where that goes. Let me know what you guys think. I'll be back next week right after midnight to cover episode 6. Let me know some of your predictions that you have for the rest of the season. Do you see Claudia making it? Do you see Vic making it? Do you see this task force going anywhere? So we'll see how far Vic gets. If he gets into witness protection, hopefully you can say hi to Lauren if he runs across her. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend.